Hi, my name is Jessie Gentles. I am a third-year software engineering major at Miami University of Ohio, and I am also a member of Cohort 11 of the Lilly Leadership Institute.
And I'm Naomi Maurer. I'm a junior biomedical engineering major at Miami, and I'm also in cohort 11 of the Lilly Leadership Institute. Today, we are doing an interview for the 2024 Lilly Leadership Institute Embracing AI Conference. The goal of this conference and project is to explore how professionals can embrace AI to work at their full potential. And today, we are interviewing Bryce Williams. Bryce, can you introduce yourself?
Sure, great. Thanks for having me. As you mentioned, my name is Bryce Williams, and I work at Eli Lilly Company. Specifically, my role there is what we call a digital capabilities advisor, where I pretty much help people within the workforce figure out ways to apply digital collaboration technology and things of those likes to getting their work done and running our business. And the thing I love about my job is I pretty much get to help any business area inside Lilly. I'm not limited to just a specific segment, but anyone who's trying to apply technology to get work done and make them more productive and efficient, I get to help them and spend time consulting with them about the best ways to do so. And of course, given the today's topic, lately, a lot of opportunities have come up in terms of how we think about artificial intelligence tools, generative AI tools, to achieve just that goal, right? Productivity, efficiency, and getting work done. So this is a really great topic, and excited to join you guys and talk about it today. I probably should have also mentioned I'm a Miami grad, graduated in 1999 from the systems analysis program, and I actually came to Lilly right out of Miami. So this is actually my 25th year at Lilly, starting here on January 1st. So I've been working at Lilly longer than more than half of my life now. So there's life flashing before your eyes for you.
Congratulations on 25 years.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I will go ahead and ask our first question of the day. So, as someone who currently works in technology, what are some fears about generative AI that you have heard from the people around you?
Sure, yeah, certainly. Anytime something new emerges, particularly something this potentially revolutionary, there's fears and there's hesitation and there's reticence. The areas where I'm seeing this come, so most of what I've been working on has been thinking of AI as an assistant to your workday, right? I haven't done a whole lot much with AI completely automating things and people getting out of the way. I'm mostly involved in I as a human getting work done and using different AI capabilities to assist me in doing it better. So I haven't been so much in the spot of, at least in my specific work, fear of being replaced by AI. What I'm really trying to help people focus on is AI to become an assistant that helps you be better, right? That it actually increases your value, increases your reputation because you figured out how to use it effectively to get through the minutia and the mundane work and get to the real creative and strategic work, and the things that are going to bring a lot of value. So that fear of job loss, at least in my space, is a little bit less than what you hear for some people talk about that more kind of automated delivery AI. But even in the things that I'm working on, what other additional fears are there? Certainly, there's always fear of having to learn something new. Right? Some people are more intimidated by technology than others. Just getting them to use things other than email to communicate is sometimes difficult. So now throw on top of that the opportunity for all these AI capabilities and someone thinking of the term artificial intelligence and large language models and tell them, oh, now you have to adopt this on top of everything you have going on in your workday. So just that fear of learning something new, and with a lot of the fanfare around it, I think people might be intimidated by that until they've seen it and had a chance to get used to it. So just that's an initial fear. I think a big fear for me is putting in the investment and the work to bring this to our workplace and preparing the culture of the workplace to accept it as a major aspect of how we get our work done together. To get people to start shifting their mindset from the way that I've done things historically to accepting, I did, like, if you asked me to write something, just know that this isn't 100% my words from scratch. I used AI to get it started, and then I revised it to make sure it's accurate and representative. So there might be elements of how it sounds and how it looks that's obvious that occurred, but it allowed me to get that done faster and achieve the need. So the acceptance of AI playing a role in the work that we get done and where it's effective and where the human needs to step in. So kind of preparing the culture for the readiness of being able to do that. And I kind of alluded to it in that previous point, but then also the trust of the outputs. Um, one, trusting the outputs to the right extent, but then two, also being critical of the outputs you get from AI and bringing in your own perspective to make sure they're accurate. Because not everything's going to be 100% accurate. It's just giving you a starting point. It's giving you an assistant to get past some of the more difficult pieces so that you can get your work done more quickly and bring in insights you might have thought of, but still get it to a point where you've put your brain on it to make sure it is accurately reflective of what you want that output to be, to make sure you've put your own flair on top of whatever it's presenting for you, but it's just kind of giving you a starting point instead of beginning from a blank page, for example. So that, like I said, kind of that trying to find the right balance point in our workforce between trust of outputs and criticality of outputs and the level of balance that you bring to adding your own perspective to it. And then the last thing I'll put on the fear would be, in a lot of ways, to get value out of AI in a workplace, we have to make sure that a lot of things we're doing create a heavier digital footprint because the AI is reading digital outputs. So the meetings we have like this one, I would need to make sure that what I'm saying is being recorded and captured so that AI can be used, for example, to summarize it for someone who may not be able to attend or to give a list of action items or something from a meeting. I've got to now record that meeting and have text transcription of that meeting. I've got to make sure that things that maybe historically were all done in in-person interactions have some type of digital footprint to benefit from the AI outputs I might want to leverage. So there's a little bit of fear from a business context of the propagation of recorded information and content that maybe before was more just spoken in the hallways or spoken in meeting rooms. And how do you mitigate the risk that creates for various downstream reasons? So as I work through, again, the style of how we're trying to bring AI to the workforce, those would be some of the specific concerns that I've heard in the early days.
And you kind of touched a little bit on this, but how do you believe these fears can be mitigated and addressed as workplaces move more towards implementing more AI tools?
Yeah, so anytime you're trying to drive a major behavior shift, you have kind of two competing priorities. One is you want to get value out of it quickly, so you want people to move fast. And so you want to incentivize them and motivate them on how to use it well, on how to kind of bring it to the top of their skill set. But at the same time, you want to train them about how to use it appropriately, how to use it responsibly. So I think in this era, setting examples, providing training, providing very clear to understand and consume resources about ramping up your adoption, but also understanding how to apply these things in a responsible and ethical way. And again, I kind of talked about that aspect, at least as we're thinking about it, about at least at the moment, keeping the human between the AI and the outcome. Not just making it all like these automated outcomes where humans aren't being the final decision makers. At least, again, in the space that I'm working on, I can mitigate a lot of the fear by having it be an assistant to the human, not a replacement for the human, keeping that human responsible between what the AI produces and the ultimate work outcome, so that you can make sure that the responsibility, the training, and the judgment of those humans are still resulting in good outcomes, but allowing that human to have done so with a much higher productivity level and produce more such outputs in a shorter amount of time and produce a higher return on their own effort, a higher return on investment back to the company because of their ability to get more done through the assistance of that technology. So that kind of one piece of training combined with, at least right now in these type of areas, making sure there's some type of human check, I think is an important one. I also think it's important, again, each workforce is different in terms of the layers of one, depending on how large they are and what industry they are, on the layers of security they might want to apply to something, or the layers of behavioral policy they might want to apply something. But at least for me, I think for anyone in a workforce, make sure you have any AI capability you're attaching to something. It's a trusted source where you know that the inputs that you're putting into it are safe. And they're not exposing anything about your work or your company beyond a point that it should be exposed. Make sure that the results that you're getting back are coming from a trusted source that you know has been vetted to be able to be an effective tool for the purpose that you're trying to apply it to. So whether that's someone who's organizing the AI program for a specific company in their workforce, or whether you're an employee trying to make sure you're doing things at the tip of the early technology scale, but also making sure you're staying responsible with that. What are some secure, trusted, reliable AI services and capabilities that you can make part of your arsenal that you've vetted in that way, so that you know that you're experimenting with it and creating results with that, but in a reliable and trusted way. And so at least you get the reliability and the trustworthiness of the capability out of the back of your mind. So then you can go focus on creating good outputs, and not creating additional problems for yourselves. So that's another one. And then that's probably the last thing I would do would be, I kind of talked again about the digital footprint and the additional digital footprint that we're having to create to get AI benefit. Again, this is a lot of times maybe not at an individual level, but maybe at a company level or workforce level. What are my retention policies about the digital footprint that gets created, so that it has a value for a certain amount of time after it's captured that makes sense? But then do I create some type of retention rules or removal rules when it goes beyond its useful life, so that I'm not also leaving things that are a risk because they're outdated, or they could be misunderstood or misconstrued out of context. And so again, balancing the increase in digital footprint with the appropriate retention and control over those digital that digital information that's being captured at a higher rate as a result. And not just the interactions you have that you're running AI on, but also the AI outputs that you're getting back that the human hasn't interacted with yet. Make sure that you're thinking about ways to manage proper retention and removal of those artifacts over time.